I sat on the Historic Preservation Commission here in Winchester for probably about 7 or 8 years, and we put in place the BOAR guidelines for historic preservation for 109, but I think it's down to 107 buildings now in the downtown Florida. So I have a little bit of knowledge about what you guys are about and why it's so important to save so many structures, and this being one of them. Leeds was built in 1925, and they opened with a movie called The Crowded House, and it had B.B. Daniels in it, and it was 5 cents to get in. So that was silent films back then, and there's a newspaper article that you guys can look at when you're here in there and read all about how they said it was completely fireproof. So there's a lot of misnomers in the article, but if you have a chance to read it, it's very interesting. Leeds has been a fixture culturally in Clark County for many, many years. Next year actually will be the 100th year that Leeds has stood here in Clark County. Until 1986, it was a single-screen movie theater. So if you look in the back where the archway is, that was what we call the sitting now. That was actually where the screen was for the movies. And then imagine, if you will, that you walked in at street level and there wasn't this break, right? So you walked in flat. There are so many stories about Leeds that we get the pleasure of hearing. People would come here on Saturdays. They would send their children. They would watch matinees. They would come in and stay all day because there was air conditioning, because their parents didn't want to get your boat. Okay? People got their first glimpses here. People proposed here. People have gotten married here in my time here in the last 10 years. Unfortunately, it was a segregated theater until 1967. And when you go on your tour, Belle will show you that the African Americans had a entrance which was on the north egress, where they had to come in. They had bathrooms upstairs, and they had a ticket booth up there. We are not proud of that history, but every day we work to make sure that everyone feels welcome here at Leeds Center for the Arts. 1986, the theater closed. A group of local citizens raised $1.5 million, I believe, and also got a grant. I think they got a CDBG, didn't they, Claire? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they were able to turn this into the space that you see today, which is an art space. Over the years, it's had many iterations in terms of what they've done here. We do a little bit of everything. So we have a 4-show theatrical season, but we also serve as a community space. We have had comedians, we've had drag shows, we've had magicians, we've had book signings. What else am I forgetting?
Walk-in concerts, choir performances.
We serve lots of different things.
I'm going to pause you just real quick. There's a few minutes. If anybody wants to come onto the stage, now's the time to do that before we have to waiting for our actors to rehearse the fights for the Three Musketeers. So if you would like to join us up the stairs, we're going to spend a little bit of time on the stage. Please take care not to fall off the stage.
Oh, wow.
The last time I was on the stage, I was taking pictures to find ghosts.
Why did this thing?
Oh, I think you showed us. I did.
I don't know. My guess is so it's probably 30.
Well, it's more than 32 feet. This is much longer than 32 feet.
In this fancy setting.
So these are 2-foot arches.
All right, so
Do you want your picture?
From number to number.
Okay.
all right, my dear friends.
So Bodie did that.
Don't
For
you
those of you who are on the stage, I wanted you to come up here because this is my absolutely favorite view in the theater. standing on stage and looking out over these wonderful 2 levels of audiences. When this was a movie theater, the projection booth would have been upstairs where those lovely gentlemen. Wave, lovely gentlemen. That is where we run our sound and our lights. The theater seats 410, with 185 downstairs and 225 in the balcony, which you'll see shortly. If anybody would like to take a quick look at our very tiny backstage, Miss Elizabeth Massey will lead a brief, just quick, single file, almost a conga line, back and front to make sure that we can vacate the stage for our actors. Miss Elizabeth,
And you will see.
And please watch your step.
Yes. When we go backstage, you'll see we have to stay in single file line. Just make sure not to touch anything. We've got costumes, we've got wigs, all that stuff back here.
for those of you who elect to remain on stage, I encourage you to take a look at the paint treatment on the set. Looking up front, it may seem as everything is done in very broad strokes, but things are painted in such a way so that it looks more detailed and exacting from a distance of the distance of the audience. If anybody feels compelled to go up on the stage, I will cheerfully escort them.
I have to say, public consumption. The first time I got to sit upstairs, I went.
I know.
I was like, it's segregated. But those are the best seats. Of course, me, I always like to sit right here in the front row. And the last movie I saw here was for Tennessee.
Okay.
And I came in, and then 6 of them came in, brought us in the popcorn, we sat down,
I wonder if they do action.
Oh, okay. I'm going. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, the fun stuff.
Where would you?
I think I saw that wig on American Idol.
I got this made from Greece.
oh wow.
There's a wig maker on a small island in Greece who makes these.
Is it real hair?
It is synthetic.
Oh my goodness.
But it looks.
Oh, I know. It's a great wig.
He's a lover and fighter. He's teaching our actors how to fight and to do so safely on stage.
Excuse me.
So in a moment, we're gonna descend the stairs, take a seat. We must be very quiet because the actors will need silence in order to practice their fights safely. As you can imagine, with swords in their hands, even the slightest distraction can send them an errant blade in this direction or that. They are dull, but they can still rapidly. So we'll watch about 10 minutes, and then I will gesture broadly for us to rise and resume our tour, because we want to see the lobby, we want to go upstairs, we want to see the balcony, and then get you safely on your way. Hopefully enough daylight to see some of our beautiful downtown. Come on, friends.
Morgan's stage.
I know.
Does anybody have any questions while we're waiting on the actors?
How many seats were there
All I can
before it
explain
was a
what that
movie
is.
theater?
But Nick might show you what that is. What is it? We're not telling you what this is. Oh, yeah. But we might show you.
How many seats
I'm
was as
so
a
sorry
movie
that I do
theater?
not know that. But there was at least probably 8 or 10 more rows.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right, your friends, one at a time. We will take
Unless my hearing
questions
is
and
capable
answers
of understanding
before our
anything.
actors show up to do their fights. Give a raise in the hand. Yes, Flynn.
If they had to do like full costume changes, do they just do it back there?
We were lucky enough to buy the building next door, which we're still paying on if anybody's looking for a philanthropic way to support us. And so that's where they start, but there's 17 people in this cast who all hang out backstage.
Wow.
We've had as many as 37 children backstage.
Wow.
This is the absolute worst place to do theater. But we believe so strongly in what we do and why we do it that we make it work. And it's almost like a little magic trick. We say that when we open, our stage grows leaps and bounds, and our backstage grows leaps and bounds. And everybody has assigned seating, and everybody has to bring a lot of patience. Yes, sir.
Was there a theater organ here?
I'm sorry.
Was there a theater organ here?
A theater organ?
Yes.
I'm not to my knowledge. Claire, do you know anything about this?
There were, not in my time, I started coming to movies here in 1954, and so I'm sure that there was not one here then.
Okay.
She said it started with silent, right?
Yeah.
Yes. There may have been a piano, but before the 1970s, I don't have a whole lot of documentation about the theater. I mean, I have never found a picture that actually exists earlier than the 70s or 80s.
It had the most, I grew up here, it had the most luxurious ladies' room. With the big couch, soft couches, the wall.
Yeah, it was called Power Wing. And that was before my time.
But it was in red.
Now we just have the most luxurious ladies.
But the ladies' room is nice too.
Yes.
So now the balcony was always here, or you installed that?
And the balcony was always here.
So when the projector room was there, and the balcony was tilted.
I think the balcony is in its original state. Is that correct, Claire? There was not a tilt to it.
Oh, that's it. And
But the throw of the projectors had to hit for sitting, which
Yes.
is all the way back.
So, okay.
Anybody else?
Tracy, if I might add,
Yes.
you mentioned that the theater was segregated, and it was when I was a child. The first time I got to see a show in the balcony, I was really impressed. Those are the best seats that I've seen.
Anyone else?
I'm a little curious, raise your hand if you have seen a film or play or musical or a live event in this theater. Wonderful. That means we're going to have to get several of you back very soon. We'll go ahead and make a quick pitch for the Three Musketeers. It opens this Friday. It runs Friday, May 3rd through Sunday, May 12th. For those of you looking for something interesting and cultural to do on Mother's Day, we will have a performance. That'll be our final performance on Mother's Day, May 12th. This is Jesse Hungerford, who's helping with our fights. We've met Nick Vinoy, our director. Raise your hand if you have seen an adaptation, film, television, theatrically or otherwise, of the Three Musketeers. Excellent. So you'll be well versed and well prepared for this event.
How many people have read it?
How many people have read the Three Musketeers? They're all right here. Other questions while we have this moment?
So how many actors do you have to have in the guild or whatever, or is it just?
That's a good question. So she asked how many actors we have in the guild or the actors union. We are a community theater. Our actors are unpaid. They are volunteers, highly skilled volunteers. We have in the past done a show that had such specialized needs that we did hire a professional union actor, but we have no requirements whatsoever. One of the benefits of being a community theater is that we have the chance to provide opportunities for people people who've never been on stage before to try out, people who are very talented and very interested but do not want the grind of trying to become a professional actor. And we have some professionals who, in between professional gigs, just really like what we do and want to jump out there.
I wonder because I saw Adam's Family, and there were a lot of people that seemed to have
Professional credits. Yes. So Ellie Miller is one of our talents behind the Addams Family. We can see the backside of our Gomez Addams right here in the purple shirt.
Okay.
We get a lot of repeat business. A lot of people come back again and again. We try to show them a good time.
I love Lurch.
Yes. Okay. So they're about to start their fight call. During this time, if you'll just make sure that your phones are turned off so that they don't ring while a sword is being cast near anyone's face. We'll take about 10 minutes of just being quiet here, then we'll get up, we'll go. Just be respectful. When something's obviously done, I think that it's perfectly fine for us to applaud.
You should have better taste in men.
Let's hold for just a sec. No, we're so for the fight call we're gonna go this is the walkthrough pace, which is basically about as slow as we can go. We'll crank it up one more time in the fight call to about 50% pace, and then we'll try to do it at about 75. And then in performance, usually the vocals take us to performance speed, so we don't usually talk about performance speed necessarily. So throughout this whole process of the fight call, they're holding that quite a bit. Yeah. Nice and slow. So if you can picture the aisles are clear.
They're very visible.
So everybody stay seated if you don't mind for this thing.
I missed it.
So now's a good time for us to rise. We will head to our lobby.
Thank you.
No, I
Maybe we'll stand here.
Yeah.
No, I'm excited. I didn't like this.
All right, friends. We are going to traverse the very steep staircase upstairs and take a look at the balcony. Since there is fight call still going on in the theater while we are in the balcony, it will be very easy to hear all of our trampling footsteps. So let's be quiet and discreet when we're in that area. That's right, friends. Yes. If you do not wish to ascend lots of tall steps, you may feel free to make yourselves at home in the lobby. Please also help yourself to a delicious ale one or Three Musketeers call.
Perfect.
Yeah, that was right.
It's just our I think it was the administrative offices of the movie theater.
Yes, like the frame of
We're continuing up.
We'll go north.
Okay.
I'll do a little further.
Okay.
A friend of mine specialized in stage play.
Oh, where?
Yeah, so she graduated in the UK like 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Oh, you're fine.
That's Emily Morris. Yes. I worked with her. She's marvelous. The young woman, Elizabeth, with the black hair, and that's one of her best friends.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah.
Theater is a small world.
Yeah. Or her brother is in he graduated from Douglas High School, I think. Took the ACT test twice because he missed something on the first one.
I took the ACT, I got like 25, and I thought, oh, if I study more, I can do better. And I took it again, and got 24. All right, friends. I'm not going to talk too loud because voice is carrying. Down at the end on the left, that exit would have been the entrance for black audiences from 1925 until 1967. So segregated was the theater that they had their own special box office. So you can see the shorter window down there. And this thin door here, I believe, was the sole restroom that was available to those audiences at that time. It is a deep source of shame for the building, but a deep, as Tracy mentioned down below, a deep sense of pride that we do everything we can to make sure that our doors are wide open to everyone in Winchester. And that's no small feat. A radical sense of acceptance can itself be controversial, and we do our best to avoid controversy, but make sure that everyone feels as though they have a cultural home here in Clark County. These doors, I think in one of them there's Christmas trees, and the other there's spiders and dust. So open the doors if you must. There is nothing of interest on the other side. We're going to go upstairs. I ask that once your foot hits a step on its way up, that we are as silent as possible to make sure that the actors have all the concentration they have and need for their work. We're going to go up and all the way down. Feel free to stay in the back if you're tired of stairs, just to take a look and see things. Do not lean over the balcony. Gravity will take hold of you and pull you back quickly down to the floor where we started our tour. So don't do that. You may also go up there, those steps if you wish.
that. I mean, obviously not this one, but like we gotta make sure that like so when it goes down, you have a beat for a man with jaundice. Beat. Hit. Okay. Yeah, it's like did you hear that? Okay. So we gotta let that line land really well for a man with jaundice. Hit. Okay. Okay. Like let it sit. Because that'll be like the audience getting it, laugh. Yeah. Okay. And then any issues other than phantom fight? Yeah. How was it? Start. It looked from here, it looked better? Yeah. I think the issue was just from a little too quick. And that was one of the first times I'd seen it too, so I don't think it was really good. All right. Very good. Can we do the contract? And let's roll with backwards. Yes, sir. Here we go. Is it a kind of sometimes thing? It's on sometimes first. We're gonna try to do this like even if it's just on the phone, so people can have a reference to the music, even during flight call. I think it'll help just solidify the timing and everything. So
Yes, you use a preemptive correct. Can you just have it come sooner in the I think what I'd like to see here be in all the music. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Nick, do you want the sound cue for this?
I'd love that if you're able.
Yep.
Thank you.
Just let us know when you're ready, Jackson. Top of the back two. Yep. Cool. Whenever y'all ready. All right.
War of the Cardinal, all for one and one for all.
sure that when we're doing slow motion, all right, it's not necessarily like the hit is slow and then we come here and that slow gets moving through the molasses, all right, the entire time, all right. So like this is the energy of it. It actually takes a lot more work to do something like this, and it's technically more tiring than maybe even like, you know, the Luxembourg could be potentially. You know, if you're really engaging, teaching, everything's slow. But yeah, I think one of the things it might be if we can.
Wait for us to.
Yeah, true, right. I think and that might help just kind of add like an extra. Good. But yeah, other than that, we're covering everything. Obviously, make sure you step out. Yeah. And then we go with.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened that time.
I just myself, I saw the time there. I know we're going to slow motion, so I was like, that should be okay.
Yeah, I'm never. I did the motion differently. Yeah, there's, I don't know, maybe it's filed in there.
All right.
Yes. We're going to go downstairs and just take a left and we'll go find our way back in the theater.
I guess I really forgot.
Okay. You probably have a few.
That was fun watching the Saber guy.
Great.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
Mm-hmm.
You may talk amongst yourselves while all of our troops come back. You may also help yourself to refreshment. Anyone who wants to take a quick peek into the powder room may do so right here. It serves as our kitchen.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Don't be scared.
Look at that.
Oh, yeah, I remember when this was.
Was this the fancy ladies'
That was
room?
fancy now, but it's pretty nice.
Oh,
It
is
doesn't have any shades around. So that's where you sure. The new one's not bad. The new one ladies' room is up. This is one that they.
But I'm
Yeah.
That is was the crowd. All right, dear friends, gather around if you don't mind.
Sorry.
We have nothing more to show you, but I'm going to tell you just a little bit more about what we do here. So we love coming to work every day in a beautiful historic space, and we take great pains to make sure that the intended beauty of the architecture is revealed alongside, hopefully, theatrical innovations we put on the stage. We do about 4 shows a year. Our next season is our heroic season. We will open with Legally Blonde, the musical. It's all musicals. Legally Blonde, the musical, followed by The Little Mermaid Jr. And Junie B. Jones Jr. We have lots of opportunities for young artists in this space. We will close our season with the Percy Jackson musical, The Lightning Thief. All stories about heroism in one form or another. We have something called our Spark Education Program, which is classes for young artists. We have a session in the fall, we have a session in the spring, and we do a series of summer camps. So if you have any young artists or would-be young artists, aspiring young artists in your life, please let them know that we have some really cool stuff where they too can show their stuff and sparkle on our stage. A couple things we have coming up, really cool. On May 15th in this space, we have a showcase of a collaboration we've done with a group called Stride, which is a recreational day program for developmentally challenged adults who are working with a group from here called the Youth Board. It's advanced high school students who every year identify a community need they wanted to address through the specific language of the arts. So this was a group of adults who had never had any kind of theatrical education or opportunity. So they've been working within the last several weeks on classes and workshops and doing games. And they will do a showcase of their collaboration on May 15th. I wouldn't be a very good development director without letting you know how you too can play a role in our success story. We of course welcome donations of any size, sponsorships. I'm the person who gives the curtain speech before all of our productions. I would love to announce the name of your business as someone who supports our work. But the most important thing you can do, above and beyond all that, and Tracy's here, Tracy's here. I dare say that the most important thing they can do is be in our audience.
Yes.
Is to be in our audience, to see our shows, to let people know that something very special is going on here on Main Street in Winchester. I talk about the 5 pillars of what this organization does. It puts on great shows. It has a really great education program. We are a property of historic value and hopefully a model of how to take something that's really old and wonderful and preserve it and show it off for future generations. We're a community gathering place where everyone is welcome. And we're a dynamic economic driver, bringing hundreds of audience members to Main Street with every one of our events and productions. So we hopefully, I like to call it the jewel in the crown of Winchester's downtown.
Yeah, very good.
Ms. Tracy Miller, do you have any closing remarks before we
I'm
conclude?
just so grateful that you guys came over to see this. I know as a historic preservationist myself, I think this is an absolute amazing space for a community our size of 36,000. And we offer such a wide variety of programming here. But the building in and of itself is just fantastic. So I'm so glad that you all got to see it and to experience it. And I hope that you all will come back and join us.
Thank you.
Well, it's hard to follow me too. But Jackson Osborne with the Bluegrass Trust. I just wanted to say it's great to always be in Winchester. Thanks to everyone for coming out and making this detour possible. Big thanks to Bill and Tracy and staff here at the Leeds Center and the cast and crew of the Three Musketeers. I hope that this won't be the last time you're here in the theater. One thing that I was supposed to bring up is it is the beginning of Preservation Month. So we all know historic preservation is important. It's a living, breathing thing. It's great to be in a space where it really is living and breathing right now. So thank you all again. And don't head out of Winchester without checking out one of their other great businesses. We've got some great restaurants that Bo pointed out here. So
What's
make
next
your time
month?
up here. Oh, and our next detour is going to be in historic Bloomfield, Kentucky. There will be details to follow. So keep up with us on our social media page or email. Thank you again, everybody.
Thank you.